get back onto the topic of the stream, guys, because we're going into game. This is a qualifier versus Twister and Rell in the winner bracket semis, I believe. So let's get into action. Twister currently rocking it. He hasn't actually taken any big items yet, and already Plasma is hurting him. I think he was waiting to hear a time for Rell to pick up red, but Rell got it so early. I don't think Twister will probably guess that it's a really early pickup. No, I'm not showing pictures. Oh, Rell jumping on Twister's LG is hurting a lot, and Twister gets the kill before the red armor. So, well played by him. Early lead. I'm expecting Twister to come out victorious on this. I'm going to be very surprised if we don't see Twister making top 3 in this tournament. I think actually he's just going for #1 spot instead of anything. Oh, and Rell catches that rocket. He's going to be low, but Twister misses his rail. So, survival for a couple more seconds. Is he going to go for a red steal? Nope. He's looking for damage on the top, keeping himself alive. Does not want to lose too many frags, but Twister's going to be after blood right now, because being more or less 200-200, just missing these rails so narrowly. Literally like 1 or 2 pixels off on each of those rails. But, so yeah, he hasn't hit a single rail yet, and he's fired 6 shots. Oh my god, Twister. At least it looks like his LG's on for the time being. We're only a minute and a half into the game, so let's have a look. Is he going to be able to clear up his second frag? Oh, yeah, he's taking his time. He's slow about it. That's okay. Slow, concise. Twister doesn't need to rush into anything. He wants to get a clean frag after all. Or at least a frag that doesn't leave him on 5 health. I really want to read and chat with you guys, but I'm going to cast the game. Sorry, chat is way too entertaining right now. Twister's really still chasing, and Rell is having a hard time getting away, and right now he's in a sticky situation. Twister should be able to get the better of him, but Rell's getting some good damage. In the end, he goes down, and now Red and Mega coming up at the same time. It wasn't such a bad time for Rell to die, but he's got to make something happen. He's got to get an LG and make the right decision here based on what item Twister's going for. He goes a little bit early. He makes his move too soon. He might not get anything at this point. Twister gets his 3rd frag. Let's have a look. No, Rell didn't even spawn by Mega. He's just firing grenades out into the open. And Twister, what could have been a moment where Rell could have taken, or at least shared the control. Twister's going to be getting frags and maintaining it all for himself. But we have got red up, which Rell manages to steal on this occasion. Twister's going to be looking to do some big damage. He gets a couple of rockets. Rell also doing damage himself. Almost a good thing that Twister didn't make it through there, because now Rell hitting one more rail. Twister is low, and Rell is looking to take a frag very soon. But Twister with back-to-back rails. He's finally getting his aim on. It's looking much nicer for him. I'm not streaming my firstborn, guys. Or maybe I will. We'll see. Rell on top of the bridge. Nasty. Twister, I mean, the rails that he usually hits so frequently, he's not managing. Like, look at that! Rell jumped over his rail. Twister's just aiming a little bit too low with all of his shots. With that, he gets 1, 2. 2 impressives. I don't think Twister's going to be happy with the way his rail's been on this game, but fortunately for him, it looks like he's not been relying on it at all. The rest of his game seems to be playing absolutely fine. And Rell is in a tough situation as we're approaching that halfway mark. I mean, it's still fine for him. He can still be fighting for control, but he's got to make something happen. He can't keep giving away a frag a minute, because obviously he's just going to end up losing that way. He's got to start making something back, but at the moment Twister's not really letting go of control. He's being very careful with it, and he's not taking many risks, and really is kind of why he's managed to be maintaining this lead. Just to making sure there's a big enough gap between Red and Mega. He's going to move down. The thing is, he hasn't really getting much control over the yellows, but now moves in, does damage onto Rell. That yellow will be completely nullified. Now he's going to chase through. Rell gets a direct rocket, but Twister is just so strong at the moment. It's so easy for him to do this. And what was even more perfect is when he eventually went back to get red, it was delayed by 5 seconds after Mega, so it was Beautiful timing. And on this occasion, he got a moment to think about his Rell, stand still, scratch his head. He managed to land the easy shot. He's got to be careful here, because he's actually gone to the wrong side. Mega could go to Rell now. Let's have a look. Is that blue bubble going to go on the screen? Yes, the timer has been set. And Rell has 200 health to work with. I'm going to go over to Rell. We've really seen very little of him today. He's got an LG and plasma to work with. This is tough stuff for him. And he's going to be early for red. Twister getting the rockets in. The splash was enough in the end. I mean, Rell's LG was completely adequate, but he didn't have solid timing on red. If he did, he could have jumped on it at the right time. And his LG was definitely more than enough to really keep him in the fight and keep it close. It wouldn't have been a clean frag by any means, but it would have been a frag. And that's something he really needs. Red next, and Twister not really getting position. He's going to go up at the top and be aggressive, push Rell out of the room. So there we go. Now I've got plenty of space. Now I can grab the red armor, feel content with this, get more Rell ammunition. Everything is good in the world of Twister. Does not need the yellow that will spawn shortly down here. So it looks like he's going to attack this room. He might just push forward. He's only got Rell out. Gets the rocket. He's already taken 100 damage by then, but he's got a good position here for Mega Health. He can get a yellow with plenty of time to get to the next red. This Rell drops down. It's a bad drop because Twister's just easily going to pick up that frag. And off the spawn, he takes a full 100 damage and is looking pretty nasty. Twister rocket jumping around. At this point, you can see now that there's a spring in his step, and Twister is twisting Rell out of this tournament. But now Twister's got to make another decision. This is getting towards the last points, really, when Rell can start conjuring some kind of comeback. He's got to get this Mega Health, and he's got to make it work for him. And he's not going to get it, so I'm more or less willing to call it GG by now. I think that Rell's just losing out on too many opportunities, and Twister's capitalizing on what's been very decent LG aim for him, and just well-picked fights. That drop down there, he could afford to do it. He was so stacked, so it's absolutely fine for him. Slightly better than when I rocket jumped up on Lost World and died in the fire. Twister makes those very aggressive moves a lot better than I do. And Rell really hasn't had an opportunity to make aggressive moves like that. It's been a sort of moderately passive game for him, and none of the fights have really gone in his favor. Mega up, Twister looking to get Mega in a couple of seconds, and actually, in fact, Rell's going to get his first frag on the board, but it doesn't really matter so much for Twister dying, because he's spawning red side. Wow. Oh, he did go. He fired plasma across, and I did not realize that he obviously wouldn't be next to his plasma. So, Rell's got to build something up here. He's only got one rocket left. He's got very little LG. He might even have to switch over to plasma, unless he keeps hitting good stuff. Nope, plasma is going to be it. Chase through and blast as much out as possible. He should have kept the gun going and spawned it, but Twister's going to be dropping down and getting himself that red. And, well, more time that he needed to keep his lead nice and tidy. But actually, he makes an aggressive move. He drops back down. Rell wasn't expecting him. He was expecting him just to keep on running and moving away. But he's going to call GG, and Twister's going to be moving to the winner bracket finals here on the 125 FPS June League last qualifier. Wow, very well played.